Hey, happy day. Not so happy when you get into some of this stuff that's going on in the world. You know, it's about drunk drivers. Drunk drivers murder someone every 45 minutes. Hey, politicians, if you want to stop drunk drivers, why don't you take all the driver's licenses away from the sober drivers? Sounds like gun control. Hey, politicians, you know what? Dumb as turnips, these people. I just don't get it. That is gun control right to the letter. Voting Liberal is like an abused animal serving its cruel master. Liberals are cruel, liberals are stupid. Did you get that? Should I say it? Oh, I don't have to say it again. Play it back. I mean, because that is accurate. A lot of accurate information here within kind of a twisted, jokey sort of way. Now let's talk about Canada and that government there. They are so corrupt, so dumb, so Marxist. Got to come up with a new word, a new term for them, because I don't know what they are. It's not really Marxism, it's not stupidism, kind of, sort of. But now they're saying, if you're not a Canadian, we got news for you. Here it is. It's a Prohibition on the Purchase of Residential Property by Non-Canadians Act. That's a new act. It ain't no act. Oh, you got a bunch of clowns acting all of the time, but this is what they're doing. The act now will come into force on the 1st of January 2023. All non-Canadians are prohibited from buying residential property in Canada. Canadian citizens, though, can still buy residential property. They kind of say it like it's a real privilege, right? You still can. Really? What does that mean? What's coming next for all you Canadian types? Corporations, if controlled by a non-Canadian, are no longer allowed to own residential property either. This thing doesn't stop. It goes on and on. They're trying to control everything. I'm a little surprised because these are globalist people. Hear that crackle in the background? I have a fire going. Crackety crack. It's supposed to make me happy, make me warm. Kind of makes me angry instead, or I'm getting angry when I look at all this, because the free market will work. Leave it alone. What are you doing? The same stuff all the time. Now you're interfering in something that globalists don't typically do, so I can't understand it. That's a good thing. We can't understand them. Voter concerns in America. Crime, inflation, and border security. Those are the concerns. That's what they're worried about. Insane left-wing Democrats who believe that you don't need a police person, you don't need prisons, you don't need borders. They're nuts. They're just the average person thinks that too. They think they're crazy. All polls show that, and you have to keep on being themselves. What can you do? Get rid of them. You have, midterms. Midterms coming up a couple of days from now. Vote right. Right? That'll be what you have to do. Disneyland. Those people in China. Shanghai Disney. Somebody coughed, I guess, and they shut it down. They, being the commie government, they closed it. They said, oh, somebody coughed. We're not going to let anybody out until you test negative. They're doing that. They're still on this thing. They want to have zero things going on with regards to COVID. COVID is a cold, and you get arrested. It's still happening over there. It's kind of, down a lot in the rest of the world. But in China, they have 1.5 billion people, and they think that no one should cough. Really? This is what they're about. They have a zero COVID policy. And millions of people now have been inconvenienced because they're somewhere in a building, in a shopping mall, and all of a sudden the government comes along and says, somebody coughed, and they lock down. Really, you can't make this stuff up. It's really happening. Control, governments, Canada, US, Biden, Prime Minister Trudeau, they're all kind of going that way. Hey, you got 83% of people in Australia that believe all politicians are corrupt. 83% all politicians. Maybe 93% of politicians are corrupt. 7% don't speak up, maybe like they should. I don't know that they're all corrupt, but certainly 83% of Australians, probably a low number too, but you get it. Swing over to America. 75% only say that politicians are corrupt. Canada, I think it's 100%, just about. I don't have the stats on that, but I got the feeling it must be. But in terms of Australia and America, they kind of have given up, and they expect politicians to do bad things. It's come to this. How bad is it when you expect someone that you hire to steal from you and to do stupid things and to abuse you and to take your money and do all of that? And that's what's happening, I gotta tell you. Oh, good thing I got the fire. I'm gonna sit down now and have a relax. You do the same, because we can win, because politically right is right and left is wrong. Fight. Midterm elections coming up in America in a couple of days, as said, and it has an impact. Truly, on the world. People in the States, I know I said goodbye, but I'm rambling. People in the world say, the US is the same as everyone else. We have inflation in the world, so it's got nothing to do with one country. That's not true. One country, under Trump, It was doing that. It was going that direction. Just because everybody follows a Pied Piper does not mean you have to. You don't need to. You can create your own little bubble within this great big thing. And America was going there, and now it's lost its way. And it's like the rest of the world. Hey, goodbye now.